From our Toronto studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aishah Ashraf. Over 70 killed in seeking food in Gaza as famine nears and child hunger deaths rise past 150. This and more in today's show. Stay tuned. Meanwhile, a new poll shows strong backing for New York mayoral nominee Zohran Mamdani's pro-Palestinian views among Democratic voters. Data for Progress found 63% of New York City Democrats support enforcing the ICC arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. 72% want to halt U.S. arms sales to Israel. Mamdani has a 68% favorability rating, second only to Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez at 75%. Over half of voters say they're less likely to back candidates who oppose Mamdani's stance. Criticism of pro-Israel Democrats like Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries is growing, especially as groups like Jewish Voice for Peace say party leaders are out of touch. AIPAC dismissed the poll, saying New York City doesn't represent national Democratic views. Universities such as Northwestern and Columbia are enforcing pro-Israel anti-Semitism training, prompting protests from students and rights groups. One training video asks whether quotes like "every time I read Hitler, I fall in love" came from white supremacists or anti-Israel voices, drawing criticism for equating criticism of Israel with hate speech. Developed by the Jewish United Fund, the training gained traction as the Trump administration threatened to pull university funding. At Northwestern, students who don't complete it may lose stipends or registration privileges. Jewish and Palestinian advocates call the program misleading and biased. Experts say it silences anti-Zionist voices amid Israel's genocide on Gaza. The ADL also faces backlash for likening criticism of Israel to Nazi swastikas. At least 60 colleges are under federal investigation for possible civil rights violations. Israeli forces killed more than 70 Palestinians trying to get food aid in Gaza. 51 were shot near the Zakim crossing and 20 more near the Morag corridor. 7 people also died of hunger the same day. The malnutrition death toll is now at least 154, including 89 children. Aid agencies say famine is imminent. Elderly people in displacement camps are dying from hunger and lack of treatment, according to Euromed Human Rights Monitor. Many deaths go unrecorded due to collapsed systems. The UN says Gaza needs 608 trucks a day. Only 269 arrived in 4 days, and many were looted by desperate civilians. Hospitals report more elderly patients collapsing from starvation. One mother told Al Jazeera her child had eaten nothing but pasta off the floor in a month. Israeli forces stormed an aid ship bound for Gaza, arresting 21 activists, including U.S. labor leader Chris Smalls. Smalls, who led Amazon's first union drive, was reportedly choked and kicked by soldiers, suffering neck and back injuries. The ship carried food for Gaza under the Handala mission. Videos show activists surrendering peacefully. Despite the high-profile assault, major U.S. outlets have ignored the story, drawing backlash from rights groups. Critics say it shows media bias and failure to hold U.S. allies accountable, even when American citizens are harmed. The Council on American Islamic Relations wants Sequoia Capital to fire partner Sean McGuire after he accused a U.S. Army veteran of lying about a war crime in Gaza. Veteran Anthony Aguilar said he saw Israeli troops shoot a starving child after he gave the boy food. McGuire called the story false. CAIR says McGuire's response is anti-Muslim and helps deny war crimes. They cite his history of sharing far-right content online. The group says Sequoia has ignored McGuire's behavior and must act. Aguilar's account aligns with human rights reports accusing Israel of genocide in Gaza. Senate Democrats push Department of Justice to release Epstein files, accusing Trump officials of hiding evidence. Details coming up next.
Muslim women are leaders, change makers, and trailblazers, shaping our world in ways that inspire generations. Join me, Farhad Siddiqui, as we celebrate their achievements, uncover their challenges, and learn how their journeys can inspire us all. On This Muslim Life, I sit down with extraordinary Muslim women. who are breaking barriers and making history. From business and education to activism and the arts, these voices matter. Their journeys inspire and their impact is real. Don't miss This Muslim Life every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only on Muslim Network TV. Watch, learn, and be inspired.
Welcome back. Texas Republicans unveiled a new congressional map designed to shift 5 seats from Democrats to the GOP ahead of the 2026 midterms. The proposal targets Democratic strongholds in Austin, Dallas, Houston, and 2 southern border districts. It's part of a Trump-backed push to expand GOP power in Congress. Republicans currently hold a narrow 3-seat House majority. If passed, the map could solidify their edge. It now heads to the state legislature, where the GOP controls both chambers. Democrats say they'll challenge the map in court for violating voting rights. Brown University has reached a $50 million deal with the U.S. government to regain access to federal research funding. Instead of paying the federal government, the money will go to workforce development programs in Rhode Island over the next 10 years. The agreement ends 3 federal reviews and lets Brown resume and apply for grants. President Christina Paxson said the deal supports academic independence and public service. This follows Columbia University's $221 million settlement. Unlike Columbia, Brown's payments won't go through Washington. The deal eases tensions between elite schools and the Trump administration over funding, diversity, and national security. Meanwhile, Trump claims Harvard wants to settle for $500 million, though the school hasn't confirmed anything. Senate Democrats are using an obscure rule to demand full release of Jeffrey Epstein's case files. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and 4 other Democrats on the Homeland Security Committee invoked the Rule of 5 to force the Justice Department to comply. They accused Trump officials, including Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel, of hiding evidence. Schumer said the public deserves the truth about one of history's worst sex trafficking cases. He noted Trump promised to release the files, but hasn't. The Justice Department recently ruled Epstein's 2019 death was not murder and denied having a client list. An August 15th deadline has been set. Congressional Democrats are suing the Trump administration for denying access to immigration detention facilities. Representative Joe Neguse says the policy violates oversight laws and hides abuse. The lawsuit, filed in Washington, D.C., says members of Congress were repeatedly blocked from entering since June, despite having legal authority. Homeland Security now demands 7 days' notice and limits which offices lawmakers can visit. But the law allows immediate access. Neguse says the policy covers up overcrowding and even detention of U.S. citizens. Lawmakers warn transparency is at risk. Senators Jeff Merkley and John Cornyn introduced a bipartisan bill to sanction officials who deport Uyghurs to China. The Preventing the Forced Return of Uyghurs Act responds to rising reports of governments sending Uyghurs back where they face torture or death. The bill would deny U.S. visas and immigration benefits to those aiding the deportations. Merkley called it a human rights emergency. Cornyn cited mass detentions and disappearances in China's Xinjiang region. The move builds on Merkley's work on the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act, which bans goods tied to forced labor from entering the U.S. Pakistan has unveiled a national AI policy aimed at boosting jobs and innovation. The plan, led by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, will train 1 million people in AI over 3 years and fund startups and scholarships. The policy also aims to improve public services, taxes, farming, and environmental data, while ensuring cybersecurity and fair access. Officials say the initiative could unlock youth potential in a country where 60% of the population is under 30. A potential breakthrough in cancer treatment is entering human trials. Scientists in Florida are testing a new universal mRNA cancer vaccine that could fight all cancer types. Unlike custom vaccines, this one triggers a general immune response, offering faster treatment and possibly better outcomes. In mice, it boosted immune messengers and made treatments like checkpoint inhibitors more effective. It worked on brain, bone, and lung cancers and could help treat cold tumors like pancreatic and ovarian cancers. Researchers now plan to test a two-step approach in humans. Universal vaccine first, followed by a personalized one. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Salam.